Hello out there. Um, I have been meaning to put together a lesson about playing scales on single strings. This is something that can be very insightful and also sort of an introduction to intervals and harmonic theory. Essentially, by playing scales on single strings, you can start to get a sense of what the hell we're talking about when we're talking about intervals, harmonic distances, and things like that. So for this lesson right now, I just want you to think about your high E string, right? Your high E string. And let's talk about how can we play a major scale on that string. Boom, whiteboard. Let's go through just the frets that we'd have to play on our high E string to make an E major scale. We would have, hope this works, open, second, fourth, fifth, seventh, ninth, 11th, and 12th. Is that legible? I hope so. So if we were to play on our high E string, the open, second, third, oh, for goodness sake. If we're to play the open, second, fourth, fifth, seventh, ninth, 11th, and 12th, we officially just played an E major scale. Now, you can notice that from the open string to the second fret, we skipped a fret. They call that a whole step. If we went from the second fret to the fourth fret, we skipped a fret. We call that a whole step. If we go from the fourth fret to the fifth fret, we didn't skip anything. We went right next door. Called a half step. Fifth fret to seventh, whole step. Seventh fret to ninth, a whole step. Ninth to 11th, a whole step. 11th to 12th, a whole step. Amazing. Okay, so there's our major scale on a single string. Here are those fret numbers again. Maybe you can take a screenshot if you want. Open 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, right? Now dig this, if you take those frets, and say you apply that fret formula to the B string, open 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, well, lo and behold, you have a B major scale. Say you apply that fret formula to the G string, open 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. You've got a G major scale. Fantastic. On and on. You apply that fret formula to the D string. And yep, you got it. You got a D major scale. Right? So, fruitful? Helpful? I hope. Now, let's talk about adding an alteration to the fret formula, all right? So if we wanted to make this a melodic minor scale, right? Say we wanted to go from major scale to melodic minor. Now don't be intimidated by that fancy word, melodic or minor, because all we're doing is going to change one note. We're just changing the fourth fret to the third fret. So if we come back over here, and take a look at our fret formula. We're just going to take 4 and we'll go bye-bye 4. No more 4. Now we want 3. Open 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. And now, with our new fret formula, we have changed from the major scale to what has been commonly referred to as the melodic minor scale. So say I take that new fret formula and I play open 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Can you hear the difference? Here's major. Here's melodic minor. One note difference, right? Now, why should we learn scales on single strings. Because a number of reasons. You'll gain a more intimate understanding of the intervallic distances, the distances between the notes that give the scale its sonic quality. So eventually, you will, it's essentially a little formula. And you realize that anytime I have those intervallic distances and I play them in that order, I'm going to create this kind of sound. I'm going to have that kind of scalar sound. So if we look at our major, again, our major fret formula, open 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, we can see that there's a skip, no skip, a skip, no skip, a skip, a skip, a skip, a skip, no skip, a skip, E chord. Oh, I'm looking at the camera while I play, it's interesting. So that's all pretty much one string. Let me try that again. One more time. Could keep going. Some things you can play around with, right? Now, is this clear that at the 12th fret, everything starts to repeat? That our musical alphabet starts again? That if this open E string is E, our 12th fret is E? That if our open B string, the 12th fret of B is B as well? The open G string, the 12th fret is G as well? If that's not clear, it should be. Make that clear. Make it clear that at the 12th fret, the whole neck repeats itself in a more minute form, right here. Right? We've got E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, right? Now, what I would recommend if you're finding this interesting is to get familiar with that major scale fret formula on each string and to go up and down each string. And if you want, you can finish it off with the chord. Say you're on the G string, G, and you do the fret formula. End it with a G chord. Say you're on the D string. End it with a D chord. Same with the A string and the E string. Now, perhaps you're getting bored with major. Perhaps a major is not, it's just not what you're looking for, right? So let's try a different scale. Why don't we try, we looked at major, right? We looked at melodic minor. Let's try, what should we try? How about natural minor, quote unquote, or Aeolian, right? So now we're just gonna have, what are we gonna do here? Yeah, we're gonna have one or two little changes made now. So remember, if we're looking at our frets, right? We have open 2, 3, 5, 7. If we want to play natural minor, we're gonna have to change these two frets. We want to bring them one notch lower. So I'm gonna take 9th fret. We're gonna turn that into the 8th fret. Take 11th fret, we're going to turn that into the 10th fret, right? Now, with this fret formula, open 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, you've got your minor, or quote-unquote natural minor scale, your Aeolian scale. So why don't we try that? Let's try that on a string, on a single string. How about our high E string? We're going to try that. Do we remember those frets? I'm going to put that in sight. Where's our, can we see that? There we go. Open 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Open 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Say it with me, right? Here we go. We've got, whoops, camera shaking. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Try it on the B string. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. I made a mistake. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. D string. Open, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. How about backwards? 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, 3, 2, open, on and on and on. So I would recommend getting comfortable with certainly the major and certainly the natural minor on single strings and moving up and down and knowing what scale you're dealing with. So I would first start with your open strings, right? And then I would recommend you try and stretch your brain and ask yourself, okay, I've got that fret formula down. Now, what's it going to be like if rather than starting on the open string, say I started on the first fret and I had to apply that same pattern, but instead of starting on the open string, I have to start on the first fret. So remember we talked about those distances between intervals, right? If we're doing, say we're starting on our open E string, open, second fret, third fret, and we started that on the first fret, what would the frets be? First fret, second fret, or excuse me, first fret, third fret, fourth fret. If we started it on the second fret. Dun, dun, dun. So if I did the whole minor scale, but started on the first fret, what frets would I have? 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9, 11, 13. Once again, try and learn that on different strings. Oh, okay. Now, when you start dealing with just single scales, right, it can get comfortable relatively quickly. And then what I'm intending to do down the road is to make some videos about doing dyadic scales. That is essentially playing two scales at the same time, up and down, two separate strings. So that would be something like this. Let's see. All right, I've got two tones, right, and exploring different ways of putting that together, and then building on top of that, doing chords. So say we're in the E minor, right? Our E minor scale. But now I did what I just did, but I'm going to do it with the full triad, the full top 3 strings here. E minor, D, C, B minor, A minor, G, F diminished, E. Now for this video, I didn't bring up referring to these intervals as major third, minor third, fourth, and fifth because I'm not sure if, depending on who's watching this, some people are not going to know what that means. So I chose to stick with just the fret numbers. However, if you are aware of and capable of thinking in terms of intervals, seconds, major third, minor third, fourth, etc., cognize that while you run these scales, while you run your fret numbers, right? Cognize the intervallic makeup of the scale. So look at these beautiful numbers, some random numbers for frets to play, fantastic. But if you're aware of the intervallic makeup, root, second, minor third, fourth, fifth, flat 6, flat 7, octave, think of that. If you're not aware of that, let me know, or Google or YouTube, and become aware of it because it will help you. And on top of that, on top of the intervallic makeup, learn the notes, right? E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. learn the notes on the neck. I know some of you out there are probably daunted by that task, but it is worth it. And come on, you know the alphabet. Musical alphabet only has 7 letters. I know that you can memorize 7 letters and say them in order. That's not a problem. And you can learn where they are on this neck of buttons where you push the button, right? Like almost like a keyboard, right? Or a typewriter. You can do it. I remember when I was first learning guitar how daunting it seemed. But, print out an image of the guitar neck with all the letters on it and just put it on your wall and just look at it. And then look at it with your guitar in your hand and just spend some time noodling while looking at that thing and cognize the name of the note. Anyway, I hope whoever's watching this, you found it useful. If you'd like to see more, please let me know or check out my other videos. My name is Jacob Peck, by the way. And yeah, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, criticisms, etc., please comment below. And thanks for listening. Bye-bye.